Hey everybody, so we're back again with part 2 of the Hairline Frontal series or the Hairline Topper series. And today we are going to build the foundation. So here I'm showing you the little adjustment and some of the other supplies. I'm using this elastic ribbon, some monofilament. I have lace, pins, pliers, and so on. So I'm starting here with the monofilament, and my goal is to create kind of like a back border to the topper. So I'm going to cut a very thin piece of the monofilament. As you see, I'm just measuring to make sure that the whole piece is even across. And now I'm putting that piece on the back part of the topper. Now that I have that done, I also want to add monofilament at the ears. It's going to help actually with it gripping, being glueless, and keeping the hairline form since it is just lace. So here you see me just kind of creating the shape that I want. And the great thing about doing anything custom is that you can do what you want. So I'm just figuring out how I think it would best fit. And then I'm outlining that shape that I made with marker. It's a Sharpie. And then it's very important to tape over anything that you draw in Sharpie on your canvas head, because you don't want to accidentally transfer the Sharpie marker onto the lace. You'll never be able to get that out. And now I'm going to go ahead and create it on the monofilament. So everything that I'm doing to one side, I'm going to create it on the other side as well. So I'm cutting out the piece here, and you'll see me duplicate this on the other side. Now we're going to duplicate it on the other side, and now we have both sides done and that back border. I used pinking shears on the back border, and I've just pinned everything down. The next step is to get our lace. I'm using a thicker but still a thicker denier but still a front lace. Again, because my intention is for this to be glueless, so you don't want to use anything too thin. I believe this is like a 22 coated lace. So now I am going to just continue on by pinning the front lace down, and I'm making sure that I also pin it to that back border that we created with the monofilament. Now that I have everything pinned down, I'm going to go ahead and cut the lace with my pinking shears. Here you see me using my bias tape to pin down the front. And I believe here I needed to create a few little tiny darts just to make sure that the lace was laying flat. So you'll see me pinning them down here. Now that we have the front lace pinned down, we're going to work on the adjustment. I did end up changing, because this is probably like the first of 3 that I made. On the subsequent 2, I did end up changing the adjustment to a clear elastic band. I thought it was a little bit more comfortable. and camouflage better. But I'm just pinning this band to each side. And then I just want to bring the elastic back to the other side. And I'm basically just measuring. Now that I have created those adjustments, I'm going to whip stitch together the monofilament and the lace. So in the next clips, you'll see me stitching everything together. I have to go through the monofilament, which is kind of hard. You have to pierce it, and then using the invisible thread and the ventilating needle. You see me doing a triple knot to start. I just want to make sure that it stays. So I'm going to whip stitch around that entire ear piece, so it's like a rectangle shape. And so I'll whip stitch around that entire thing, and then I will whip stitch around the back border as well. I ended up changing needles too, because the smaller one was the needle itself was a little bit finer and could go through the monofilament easier. I'm removing the pins so that I can check everything out and put the little final touches onto the foundation. So one of the last things I do before removing it is I take a washable marker. I usually use brown, and it is completely washable. It comes out with water, and I just outline the hairline itself. And I do this so that when I put the piece back on, I can line it exactly back the way it was intended to be. Is what she's looking like. You can see that I've updated that adjustment on the side, and now I'm going to cut off the extra lace with the pinking shears. And here is the final product of the foundation. The last step for me today is to go ahead and pin it back to the canvas head so that I can prepare for the last step, which is actually knotting the hair. And that last step will be in part 3 of the series, the final part. You'll see me knotting the hair, and I'll show you how it actually works as well. If you like DIY videos regarding wig making like this one, and you would like to see more from me, please subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to comment, like, and share. Let me know what else you would like to see from me. Also check out the1HairCoach.com. There is a group page there. You can see it under the resources tab, but I'd love to see you join the group. It's a community if you are learning wig making, where we can learn from each other, share our projects and ideas, and maybe just get to know one another. So hopefully I'll see you there. It's completely free. This is it. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.